Hello, I'm Kim Malek, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I have worked for Red as the marketing director for Redwire, which is our first ever straight-to-consumer product that we launched. And I'll tell you more about it as we kind of go through our talk today. But I've worked for Red for about a year, and I think during our talk today, I'm really hoping that I'll be able to share with you some insights and some new ideas about kind of the whole cause marketing world and where that's going and what Red is about, how we make our decisions, who we partner with, and what those brands are about, and how those brands work together with us and with each other to really move forward in some pretty radical new directions. Of course, I think the person who tells the story of how Red became best is Bono. He usually starts out by saying that as he began this, there were over 7,000 people who died every single day of AIDS in Africa and sub-Saharan Africa. And they died because they don't have access to 2 pills that cost 40 cents a day. It costs about $12 a month to keep someone alive. Taking 2 pills a day, that's a solvable problem. That's something that we as a world can actually solve. And so as this became the reality, Bono partnered with Bobby Shriver, who you saw there in the video, and they went out to speak to world leaders about obtaining this funding. Now, a lot of people wonder, why is it called Red? And what does that mean? It's called Product Red. So as I told you at the beginning, when they started this company, there were over 7,000 people dying a day. I'm glad and sad to tell you that now it's about 4,100 people who are dying every day from AIDS in Africa, so the number's on the decline. However, I won't quote Bono throughout this speech, but he does say that's not a rock star's cause. 4,100 people dying a day is not a rock star's cause. It's an emergency. And red is the color of emergency, and that's how we got our name. So, why we exist. We exist to buy medication for people who are living with HIV in Africa. And we have a very special focus on women and children because women are the most highly affected. And as you can all imagine, a woman who's sick in a community has a much bigger impact on the community with their children and the entire family. But how does it work? First of all, this is our manifesto, and I'll just read it to you. Red is not a charity. Red is not a cause. Red is not a theory. Red is a simple idea that transforms our incredible collective power as consumers into a financial force to help others in need. Red is where desire meets virtue. We like to call Red a for-benefit brand. And so we are working with businesses and consumers to combine that power to help people who are in need in Africa. Now, how does it actually work? So what happens is you are the little person in black here, and you walk into, in this example, an Apple store. You're going to buy an iPod, and you notice one is red. And as you pick that up, because it's red and shiny and looks really cool, you notice that that one actually saves lives in Africa. It's no different in price from any of the other iPods, and so you decide you're going to buy that one. Apple then takes part of the proceeds. Most of our partners give about 50% of their proceeds to the Global Fund. The Global Fund takes 100% of that money and gives it to the partners that they're working with in Africa to buy ARV medication. And on the flip side, you walk out with this most amazing product that you're super psyched about. That's an important part. Like, we only work with the best, most incredible products. So from a business perspective, it's very important to note that this is an ongoing, sustainable practice. The businesses are making money, the Global Fund is making money, and it's a long-term partnership that we're involved in. So just to let you know who the Global Fund is, they're the leading funder in the fight against AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. Less than 1% of their funding comes from the private sector right now, so there's a huge opportunity for us to rally the private sector and increase that. But how do Red Partners really save lives? And when we talk about Red Partners, those are the brands that we partner with. So we partner with the most sought-after brands in the world, and they become Red Partners. Now, we don't work with the CSR departments at these companies. We work with the marketing departments. We're a licensing organization. They pay us a licensing fee to use our marks. they then turn their products red. So they're looking at red as a business model to do right for their brands, their consumers, and the world. This is their opportunity to do good while also making money. This is why our model is sustainable, and we think that's a really important point. We think that's a great thing that these companies make money off of the red products, because that means for the next 3, 5, 10, 20 years, they'll be donating money to Africa as part of this business model, and they'll be doing so because it makes sense for them and it's good for their business as well. Consumers want the cool red product. The way we like to say this is, all things being equal, I'll choose red. I can walk in and buy any of those tennis shoes. I may as well pick the one that's red because it's saving lives. So we want to make it really easy for customers to get the amazing products that they wanted anyway and choose the red one. We think it's important to know that none of the money goes through red. It goes straight to the Global Fund. We don't take a single dime of it. We also have our relationship set up with the Global Fund such that they don't take a dime of it either. So every time you give $1, it goes straight to Africa to buy medication. In terms of setting up sort of cause-related marketing campaigns, you commonly hear like a % of proceeds and how much is really going, and we wanted to remove all of that. So every time you give $1, it goes straight to Africa, and we think that's really important in terms of setting things up to be very transparent with consumers in a program like this. So when we're working with brands, we really focus on 4 different factors when we're looking at the ROI. How do we save lives and what works? So first of all, it's obviously the amount of money that they're giving to the Global Fund. At the end of the day, that's all we are on the hook for delivering. We want to give as much money as we can to the Global Fund. But the other 3 are very important too. The second is the business impact. You might call that the halo effect. So we want to make sure that brands, as they enter into this partnership, have very distinct and realistic objectives that they want to reach by working with Red. So for instance, Dell wanted to partner with Red to reach women and be more relevant to women, and so we track that with them and make sure that's happening. Hallmark wanted to be more relevant and increase sales amongst the youth market. We track that and make sure that that's happening. So there's a brand impact or a halo impact that's really important in this partnership. The third is the partner profit. As I said earlier, the partners need to be making a profit off of these. They're investing in this, they're creating a marketing campaign around it, they have a responsibility to their shareholders to deliver increased sales as a result of these promotions, and they do. So that's the third part that's very important. The fourth is creating customer awareness. And I think this is one of the brilliant points of Red that I'll talk about a little bit more in detail later. But through these campaigns, we do reach the kitchen table. You know, that people are talking about it in the mall. People become aware of this issue when they weren't before. So we're very careful to watch customer awareness as part of all of the programs that we do.